Jurassic World Dominion is the third Jurassic World film and the sixth film in the Jurassic Park series. Directed and co-written by Colin Trevorrow, it is a satisfactory conclusion to both the park and world stories that should hold fans over until the inevitable future installments. 4 years after the events of Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, Isla Nublar has been destroyed by a volcano, and dinosaurs have now escaped into the real world. As a result, the future of the planet is in doubt since these once extinct creatures are reclaiming the Earth, making life increasingly difficult for all the other human beings and animals who are forced to coexist alongside them. In an effort to curb this problem, a secret experiment involving more genetic engineering is underway in a secluded location, which, if successful, will allow humanity to regain its place at the top of the food chain and keep these ancient beasts under control. Since the release of the first film back in 1993, the Jurassic Park/World series has had an interesting run among filmgoers. The original featured groundbreaking special effects, a great cast of memorable characters, and that iconic John Williams musical score to help cement it as one of the most iconic films of the 90s. On the other hand, all of the sequels have yielded less favorable results in terms of entertainment value, ranging from decent popcorn flicks to downright insulting to longtime fans. It seems the one that started it all has simply set the bar so high that everything else following it looks so poor in comparison. After almost 3 decades, the story that began so long ago finally draws to a close here in Jurassic World Dominion, which ends things on a fairly acceptable note. I've never been one to take the Jurassic Park/World films too seriously, considering their entire premise is pretty far-fetched. I mean, how seriously can you really take the concept of bringing dinosaurs back to life using mosquito blood and frog DNA? But despite that, I still find them highly entertaining for what they are, and that is watching dinosaurs wreaking havoc and exposing the hubris of humanity. I still remember being wowed by the original film as a kid, and re-watching it as an adult made me realize how well it holds up today. Jurassic World Dominion, which is intended to be the final film in the franchise to focus around the initial story set up in 1993, features all of this and then some, so if that's what you're craving, the film delivers just that. For the most part, this film's effects look pretty good, but still not as good as how they did back in the 1993 film. This is because that one used animatronics for whenever the filmmakers showed the dinosaurs up close, and CGI only for when they were seen at a distance. However, since the first Jurassic World film back in 2015, the animatronics appear to have been completely discarded in favor of entirely CGI dinosaurs, which I have mixed feelings about. Sure, some of the computer-generated dinosaurs seem naturally integrated into a shot, but others look so obviously added in during post-production that they stick out like a sore thumb. I understand that it's cheaper to use CGI nowadays, but if these modern filmmakers truly wanted to leave an impression on viewers, then they should have at least used some animatronics wherever possible. One major problem I had with this film was its bloated second act. Without giving away spoilers, all I will say is that there are 3 different stories going on at once, each with a different emotional feeling. For example, one moment we might see characters being chased by dinosaurs through a busy city street, and then immediately after we'll see a slow-paced scene of expository dialogue that feels shoehorned in there for storytelling purposes. These parts would have worked out better if they each had some kind of overarching link to one another, but instead these weird shifts in tone causes the film drag at the most inopportune times. This is where I started to lose interest in the human side of the story, and wished everyone would just meet up with one another already just to get things over with. I do think the film made good use of the idea of humans and dinosaurs being made to coexist with one another. Some people are shown trying to rescue the dinosaurs to take care of them, while others trade them on the black market as exotic pets. There are also a number of brief but well-shot scenes of a group of triceratops and elephants walking side by side. The African Serengeti, as well as some large pterosaurs patrolling the skies of New York City, with some even settling nests on the tops of skyscrapers. I guess I just like seeing such a jarring juxtaposition of the old and new inhabitants of the world being forced to live in the same ecosystem, but at the same time being reminded that this is not the natural order of things. It's like what Dr. John Hammond said at the end of The Lost World, Jurassic Park, in that these creatures require our absence to survive, not our help. As a pair, both Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard were fun dual protagonists as Owen and Claire, but they are rarely shown doing anything solo in this film. Though I liked that the two were a loving couple at first, I would have preferred if we could have seen them do things on their own to allow for their characters to develop individually, instead of being 2 inseparable halves throughout most of the film. Additionally, the young Isabella Sermon felt like she was going to waste, as Maisie Lockwood, the pair's adoptive daughter. Maisie never felt like an actual fleshed-out character, but rather a plot device used to advance the film forward until the climax. It's a shame because I saw potential in her back in the conclusion of Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, but I suppose that was never meant to be. It was also nice to see the original trio of Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum return after almost 30 years as Dr. Alan Grant, Dr. Ellie Sattler, and Dr. Ian Malcolm respectively. Though their reunion here is based entirely on nostalgia, their presence at least helped elevate the film above what could have been a forgettable conclusion to this long-running series. Again, like with the dinosaurs and humans, I like the juxtaposition of the three characters from the Park films with the New World ones of Owen and Claire. There was something satisfying about watching the five of them work together to outsmart the dinosaurs with their different levels of general knowledge in their respective fields, whether it be Dr. Grant's paleontology or Owen's ability to communicate with velociraptors. Although it's clear by now the series has run its course, I will admit that for all intents and purposes, I've enjoyed watching all 6 of these Jurassic films for the popcorn entertainment they are. Through the good and bad, I have nonetheless loved seeing how the filmmakers made dinosaurs live again and had them roar their deafening roars. But if you ask me, the series needs to go on a lengthy hiatus before we ever see these Cretaceous creatures on the big screen again. Though knowing what a cash cow the franchise has become, it's only a matter of time before Universal Studios decides to milk it even further with spin-offs, prequels, video games, etc. Until then, let's just appreciate what we've got for now.